What's up, everybody? Great afternoon. I got to look at my watch. Good morning in Alabama. Great afternoon in Georgia. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show, special edition that we do every month, live from the Glynn Chevrolet GMC showroom. And I am with him. That's him. You know him. Where you get your news and weather is Colin, Scroggins and CNAW. Man, how is it going? Thank you so much for being here.
I'm surviving. It's been a really busy month. It's been a really busy year, actually. But I'm excited to be here.
Yeah,
excited
man.
to spend my Saturday with y'all. So
before we get into what's happening around the community, because that's why you're on, and talk about our partnership, how is college going, man? We were talking about this. You were doing one class over the summer. Now you have 5 you're doing while on top of keeping up everything locally. You got a busy slate, don't you, man?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, surviving. Honestly, I'm having a great time at Auburn. I have a lot of friends, have amazing professors, so that's all that matters. And
right.
I got a couple assignments here and there, but I'm overall keeping it cool and surviving and doing the best I can with what I got. So
we're presented by Glynn Chevrolet GMC, the original presenting sponsor of Georgia Alabama Sports Live, one of the premier sponsors on CNAW. We'll talk about that partnership here in just a little bit. Also, Coca-Cola, their deep ties. I don't drink nothing but a Coke and all Coke products. Also, thank you to Kinetic Credit Union and Houston Clinic, Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, for their sponsorship and their belief in what we are doing here, shining a light on all local athletics here in the Chattahoochee Valley area. Colin, let's talk about what's going on in the community, man. For one, it seems like every single night there's a big story being dropped. Right now it's the Cracker Barrel logo that everybody's upset about, but we don't have to get into that. Outside of, little stories that are fun like that one here or there, what's going on locally, man?
Locally, there's a lot going on. We've had influx of crashes this year. I don't know if it's because everyone's going back to school and we just got more cars on the road or what's the deal, but we've been posting traffic alerts, and our traffic alerts are sponsored by our partners with Piggly Wiggly, Hughes Heating and Air, She's Injury Law, and a couple others as well. Extremely thankful for them and all that they do for us. But we've been posting traffic alerts like every hour. I swear, it's accident here, accident here, accident here. But again, if it wasn't for them, I don't know how we do it.
Yeah.
And, we've had a couple homicides as well. And if anyone has any information about the recent couple incidents, please contact your local authorities. I know there's been at least 1 or 2 in Columbus that authorities are still seeking information on.
Awesome.
And so absolutely need to get that out and get the word out that we need information to get these families justice and suspects in custody.
I'm glad you've made mention of that. As much as you are appreciative of everybody reaching out and giving you news to be able, you can go out and investigate on your own, the first person they should call, especially for something that serious, is not Colin Scroggins. And you're saying that now too. Please give information, but please go to the authorities before you come to us.
I've had people contact me saying that they've had a shooting in their apartment complex and they haven't called 911. I said, please contact your police.
Yeah.
Because I'm not responding unless police are there. So,
right.
But yeah, so it's a lot going on. Of course, we've had a lot of views, I think millions of views on our website just this year.
Right.
And it's because of the crazy stories that we've had. We've had a Chick-fil-A shooting. We've had numerous serious crashes, like I've mentioned.
Right.
And a bunch of just out of this world kind of scenes. So.
Right.
Busy year for y'all, especially with football starting up, high school sports. I know that's a big deal, and I know y'all have had some big games that I know y'all are going to talk about tomorrow and later today in this broadcast. So it's been an exciting time for us.
No doubt, man. And there's also a lot of positive things also going in within the city too. Events that are happening around here. We're always about shining a light on what's happened around here locally, man. So it's really awesome. But thank you again for your partnership, because we have obviously expanded our reach and our growth as a company at Georgia Alabama Sports Live because of the generosity of yourself, Jay Shields, Daryl, for believing in what we're doing here, man. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It's been 6 months of greatness. And listen, in the last 2 weeks of Georgia Alabama Sports Live, we have accumulated over 200,000 views. If you just go off of the last 2 days, and I just picked 2 games, Shaw Smith Station 2 nights ago, and last night's Carver Spencer, we've hit over 150,000 views there. This is the reason we did it, man.
Absolutely.
Not because I want people talking about Thrift Barringer. Just like with you, you don't care about people talking about Colin. We are trying to help get the news out there, get these information on the sports teams, shining a light on these incredible athletes, these coaches that deserve it. They put a lot of hard work and time and effort, not making much money at all, to help athletes achieve their dream. And that is what we do at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. That's why we partner with you as well, man. So we're so excited about this. And I do want to talk about Glynn Smith, because without Glynn Smith, would either one of us be here, Colin?
No. They believed in me from the beginning. They were our first premier sponsor that we partnered with, and I would not be here today without them. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and their support.
No doubt about it. So CNAW2news.com. That's the website. Where else can they find all the work and all the things going on around the Chattahoochee Valley, man?
They can find us on Facebook, Colin Scroggins CNAW. They can find us on Twitter, or Twitter X, whatever you want to call it these days. Everyone's rebranding. We need to stop. I can't get all these names together.
Right.
And Instagram is what we kind of post on there sometimes. It's just so hard to post on 5 million different outlets trying to get the same story out. So please go to our website at cnaw2news.com. That's where all of our stories will be posted.
Right.
Our traffic alerts as well as on our special channel that we have that sends out weather alerts that you get notifications on through Messenger on Facebook. So you get weather alerts, traffic alerts that y'all need to know when driving around or need to go to your shelter spot. Yeah. I know the lightning delay, y'all have had your fair share
in the last
of
2
lightning
days.
delays. So, but y'all handled it like pros, so got to thank them for that.
Yeah, man, I love being able to get that up-to-date information. But again, thank you to Colin. And y'all don't forget, man, Colin still in college. So as much as he is covering everything and anything around the area, he's still a college student full time. And then he's doing this. So Colin, thank you so much for what you do for the community. Thank you for partnering with us here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And thank you to Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC for being the premier sponsor of both Colin Scroggins, CNAW2 News, and Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Big Rich is going to come on stream. We're going to talk about some of the games we did last night and more. Plus, I got a special guest. He calls games with me on Friday night, and I like ruffling his feathers because his team is the #1 team in the nation, and I don't know how. It's Rex Castillo and the Texas Longhorns. We'll talk about that next on Georgia Alabama Sports.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glynn Smith and Opelika. Hit the road in a rugged new full-size Chevy Silverado with discounts up to $12,250 off MSRP. New Chevy Traverse, the spacious and comfortable ride with affordable pricing. Now with discounts up to $4,000 off MSRP. People from all over the USA are coming to Glynn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Imagine making your dreams a reality, achieving your goals and aspirations, and having a financial partner that understands your dreams never sleep. At Kinetic Credit Union, we're more than just a bank. We're 40,000 members strong with local service, personal connections, and a nationwide network. Leading-edge technology to help you make financial decisions easier, smarter, and safer. We are Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Here they come! More big transport trucks full of new GMC trucks and SUVs to Glynn Smith and Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $12,750 off. New GMC Terrains with a fresh design, a spacious interior, and safety features, discounted up to $4,000 off MSRP. Plus, enjoy no payments until November at Glynn Smith GMC and Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Here they come! More big transport trucks full of new GMC trucks and SUVs to Glynn, Smith, and Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $12,750 off. New GMC Terrains with a fresh design, a spacious interior, and safety features, discounted up to $4,000 off MSRP. Plus, enjoy no payments until November at Glynn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Welcome back here, live edition of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show at Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC. That is him. He is my broadcast partner on Friday nights. He will be a big part of our show and our coverage of college football all year. Rex, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. It's a Saturday morning, and finally, y'all, it is finally a college football Saturday. Praise everything that you pray to, because we have
Texas is back, folks.
And it took 20 seconds for Drew, for this. I say Drew because sometimes he also likes to rub me the wrong way too. But Thrift already did it. We are not back until you do what Vince Young did. But it is great to see the Texas Longhorns back in the #1 spot, at least for this week. So, again, Farmageddon happening right now in Ireland. I love that Farmageddon is the nickname for this rivalry between Iowa State and Kansas State. What better way to export our great game to Ireland by two schools in flyover countries that fly over farmland? I absolutely love it. Welcome back, college football.
I love it, man. And Rich, let's talk about last night, man, because we'll have time to call college football. And Rex, you were able to keep up with some of the games too. You've been a part of the coverage, so we'll talk last night. Really in the last 2 days, man, I want to clap it up for the Georgia Alabama Sports Live team.
Absolutely.
5 football games we were able to
Absolutely,
broadcast, accumulating over 200,000 views from YouTube and Facebook.
Fantastic.
Unbelievable, man. And I am so thankful for the team that we have here, including yourself, Rex, obviously Big Rich, Chris, and everybody else, Brandon, Tyler Dykes. I don't want to name everyone because we got a lot of them.
It's a long army of people, but when you have that many people
No
supporting this vision and what you guys are doing here, it is incredible.
Yeah. Rich, let's talk about Thursday night first. How about Smith Station and Blair Harrison? To dominate Shaw in the first game of the Blair Harrison era. I'm not ready to go out and say they're going to win 8 games, make the playoffs. Remember, they play in the same region, Opelika, who won
that
last
is
night.
a gauntlet.
Central.
If there's an SEC West version
Auburn,
of Auburn Central,
Auburn,
and
Montgomery,
and just good luck. But I agree with you. What a great way to kick off the season.
Yeah. So, Rich, tell us right now, Smith Station, Shaw, what were your thoughts when you watched them?
I was very happy for Coach Blair Harrison. If there's anybody that deserved a win, it's Coach Harrison. And to get it on the road and to have Smith Station win a game when in the last 3 years before that, they only won 2 games all year. And you have 4 coaches in the last 4 years. I feel that Coach Harrison is building stability and to be dominant, to control the line of scrimmage the way they did in a 24-0 win. Now, they play Valley next week. It's a possible chance that Smith Station could go 2-0 going into the backyard brawl. I do think that Coach Harrison is building a culture, building a foundation, and the kids, the alumni, everybody that supports Smith Station Panther football is buying into it. And it was a huge emotional win. Yeah, at the end of the game, it felt like they won the championship. They were celebrating.
Listen, Rex, when you haven't won a game in a couple of years, that community is thriving. We talked about it. They're kind of like Harris County was with Tommy Watson 2 years ago when you did Inside the Trenches, establishing a culture, man. And that's what's happening.
I think the right guy to set that up is Blair Harrison. And talk about all the storylines outside of the football field as well.
Right.
Blair Harrison is a guy who came to Shaw High School a few years ago, wanted to coach with his good friend in Coach Al Pellegrino.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Coach P passed away, untimely death. I mean, that community was hurting. Blair Harrison had to step up and be the last-minute guy, like, okay, well, I'll be the head coach. He did a great job leading Shaw at that point, but then he transitioned to the athletic director role. And speaking with Coach Harrison when he was on the sidelines with Shaw High School and all these other games, he kept telling me, like, Rex, I still feel like I got gas like in the tank for me to be a head coach. I'm like, well, Coach, you ran one heck of a program in Brookstone. And
winning is in history, man.
It's winning is in history. Brookstone was always a very solid program under his leadership. He got a shot with Smith Station. A lot of us were like, okay, Blair, if you can fix this, man, good luck, because to be very fair to the Smith Station program, it's just in the numbers, as you mentioned, there's not a lot of winning going on over there in Smith Station. It is a tough region. You have to be elite to make sure that you're in contention for that. But when you go over 10 last season, you just want something to go right. You want some kind of stability. You want something that you can be proud of. And that wing T offense, the very signature of what Blair Harrison is doing out there, it is tough to game plan against. It is tough to deal with. It's tough to defend. And when it's rolling, it's almost impossible to stop.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Blair Harrison. I think what a redemption story for him, story for Smith Station to go 1-0. Look, if I've gone 0 for 10 or had a 12-game losing streak dating back to 2023, I'm going to celebrate this first win.
No doubt.
But you got 9 weeks left of football and a whole lot of dudes left on that schedule, so it'll be really exciting to see what happens next.
I think 3 or 4 wins is definitely in the cards, and next week is winnable at home, Valley. It is going to be an unbelievable atmosphere.
That's going to be a great game.
At Panther Stadium.
100%.
Let's talk about the 4 games we did last night. We'll start first, and I'll go first with the Heritage Bowl. Unbelievable setting, unbelievable atmosphere. Did have a lightning delay. It seems like lightning wanted to follow me. It had to deal with an hour one at Shaw Smith Station. Did the same thing at Carver Spencer, Rex, but Carver has shown. And what I try to do, I didn't want to put too many expectations and build up too much pressure on Jarvis because he still is his first year as a head coach. So. But that does not matter. The talent that is on that field for the Carver Tigers, they are the best team in 2A. It's not even close. I think they'd be the best team in 3A. They're up there with Troup County, who looked really good against Harris County. But I thought what I saw from Friday night just shows they're just in a class above everyone else. I don't think Spencer's a bad team, and I think Spencer still can win 7 or 8 games this year.
Right.
Remember, they just lost 1 game against the best team in the state. I don't think that's going to be a bad loss. Now, losing 48-0 was not what I expected.
Sure.
But just seeing the athletes across the field, having guys like Gibbons, who's going to A&M. But it was really the freshmen. Zach Watts, phenom, being recruited by Georgia, Alabama, and Auburn already. He was sensational in the return game and the running game. And Sebastian Hurd, the freshman quarterback, threw not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdown passes and facilitating that offense. Bright future for Carver, but right now they look like the best team in the area.
I can't disagree with that. They're playing at a different gear at this point. The Heritage Bowl has been a one-sided rivalry for quite some time now. But you're right. It's a matter of Carver just reloaded. They didn't rebuild at all. Jarvis Jones, I mean, all the experience you have there playing high-level football, this is the right kind of guy that you want. leading this team in. I think he's been on teams with high expectations. He's been on teams, this specific team that has always these championship expectations. And to start out a state championship defense with a new head coach and with all these weapons, you beat Whitewater, which is above your weight class. Then you come back home and just make an absolute statement to the community that, by the way, we're still Carver High School. I mean, you're right when you say that they're the best team in 2A. This is an early case for that. With Spencer, again, it's one of those things this is a learning opportunity. I think you're absolutely right that the postseason is not out of question. But when you play against Carver and they're playing at that high level, look, you're going to have a tough time anyone trying to stop that offense. And you're right. Freshmen making plays already? Carver's going to be here for a while.
No doubt about it.
You remember when Carver was winning championships with a dominant defense, the dark side defense with Coach Justin Newman, who's now the coach at Crisp County. Now they're an explosive offense, 99 points in the last 2 games when you have a playmaker like Sebastian Hurd, who's only a freshman. And then you got a pretty good depth chart of running backs with Zach Watts, Kelston Popcorn Tarver, and Jacoby Caslin. KJ Miles, great physical possession receiver. And then that defense led by Tristan Givens.
99 points in 2 games is arena football numbers.
Come on, man. Crazy. That's crazy. Unbelievable. And by the way, what was also unbelievable, that was the most watched game in the history of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live last night.
VHSL, man.
We had Smith Station Shaw, we eclipsed from both YouTube and Facebook, 60,000. We have already got to 70,000 views for Carver Spencer, and we think by Monday we'll have over 100,000 views for that game, and we expect it to continue. Remember, this is only week number 3 of the 2025-2026 sports calendar year, and we're pulling in numbers like that. Again, credit to the team, but 100%. So thankful for that. And I want to really give a shout-out to Chris Gates, because the level of production that I've seen in both these games, Rex, is unbelievable. He has helped take our Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, he was there at the very beginning, to even another level. And he's the most talented guy, I think, in this area, and I'm so thankful he's on this team. And you're really good friends with him, too. You know what producer Christy means to Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.
I mean, with that kind of dedication and that kind of hard work ethic, that's the kind of people you need. You need those foundational pieces to make all of this work. I don't care how embarrassed you get behind the camera there, Chris, but it's one of those things that you deserve your flowers on this, my friend. You do an excellent job.
You know what he deserves?
What's that?
Waffle House. And I'm going to get it.
And if you thank me again, if you thank me again, I'm ending the stream. You're done. It's finito.
Listen, he's also Richard Holdridge's therapist. So at any point,
he's been a therapist for a lot of us.
For a lot of us, to really.
To be fair,
yes, for a lot of us, but mainly for Big Rich. And Rich, you know you love him. All right, Rich, let's move on from that game. Another game that happened last night, but not in favor of a team that we covered locally, was Harris County traveling to Troup County.
Right.
But Troup County's got Garrison Edwards. He's the lead. And they won 42-0. I think Tanner Glynn has a team that could win a state championship this year. Man.
He has been building towards that standard. And Tanner Glynn, if you don't know who this guy is, he is one of the best coaches out here in West Georgia. He has coached guys kind of like a Kobe Hudson, who was a dynamic wide receiver for Auburn, Jamari Thrash, all these guys who go to big-time Power 4 schools, Tanner Glynn has run an incredible ship out there in Troup County High School, really built that program up to where it's at now, and I think this was a gut check for Harris County that, look, Troup County's at a different level. Harris County still has a great future in front of them. I think Tommy Watson, he's made it clear. He wants to win a state championship for Harris County before he retires, and I think it can happen with the resources, the talent, and the people there, but Tanner's a guy who just won a state championship for baseball. And now handed in, for the dugout for the sidelines. And he's a guy you talk about an Energizer bunny and a love for that community. Tanner Glisson's the right guy. He's got incredible Division I talent yet again. Troup County making an early statement, not a surprise there, but they're always one of those teams like, we could win it all, but we run into this guy. Then we run into this guy. I think a guy named Trevor Lawrence stopped him from winning a state championship. A lot of people couldn't beat Trevor Lawrence when he was in high school, but it was one of those things. Troup County heading in the right direction. Yeah. Harris County, it's a little detour. We'll see what happens next.
Yeah, I don't think this is a reflection on Harris County. I just think that Troup County is great. They kind of remind me of that Teo Todd team that went to the semifinals.
Well, what about not scoring any points, though, Richard? I know about giving up points, and I figured Troup County was going to win.
Yeah.
But to lose 42-0, though, that's not a great sign. You want to offensively be able to move the ball a little bit better than that.
Well, Troup County's got some dudes on defense. You remember guys like Qua Birdsong, Noah Dixon, they go on and play at the next level. I think Coach Tanner Glisson's got some guys coming up that could be dominant defensive players that are going to play on Saturdays.
Offensively, I do have to agree with you on this point. When you you are shut out, that you have to take notes away from that. One thing that we did notice, there was that quarterback battle going in for Harris County heading into the season.
Right.
And look, offenses always take time to catch up, unless you are dialed in, locked in like you are with Carver High School. So Harris County, I think this is a moment you have to take a step back. Like, okay, what isn't working? What is working? And what can we do moving forward?
All right, and so now we'll go to, Pacelli and Tatnall. Man, last night, 28-6. Big win for Pacelli. They needed it. They kind of regrouping from losing against Stratford. Bobby Gary was great. The defense was lights out under Damian Daniels. And a good win for Pacelli as they're kind of licking their wounds, because guess what? Next week, they go on the road to FPD, which is right now a team that's won a state championship and been to 2 in the last couple of years. But a good win for Coach Smitty Grider, his first of the Pacelli era with him.
Shout out to Smitty Grider, Bobby Gary. I mean, one of the most talented quarterbacks we saw growing up in our area. Congratulations to him in a situation where you're going to a new league and you've still flourished in this area. Shout out to the Nighthawk, too. Always a great guy to talk to in our community. But you're right that, you're licking your wounds from the first week. You rebound well against a solid team in Tatnall Square, but FPD is the standard. What can we do against this team? And I'm glad that they have it early on instead of like week 7 or 8 heading into the playoffs, because at this point now we can truly see what we need to fix. I think Bobby Gary is, once he gets that rhythm, once the game slows down for him, so to speak, it's going to be really interesting to see if he could be in that player of the year conversation, because I think he has the talent for that. But you're right, Pacelli is still finding out who they are. Smitty Grider is a great coach who's obviously had a lot of experience. Are they reloading or are they rebuilding? So it should be really interesting to see what happens later on this season.
Yeah, and Bobby Gary's got weapons. You got J.D. Davis on the outside. You got the running back tandem of DJ Colvin and Cam Carino.
And by the way, who was the player of the game last night?
Yeah, absolutely. And that lights out defense by the Nighthawk. I'm excited. I think they got a chance against FPD. But I want to throw this out there. FPD's 2-0. The 2 teams they played, they've blown out ECLA, which is a public, like playing in the GHSA, and Marion County.
Eagles Christian Landing Academy.
Yeah, Eagles Landing Christian Academy, which is in the GHSA. So they're 2-0 facing GHSA schools. That's going to be a tough task next week.
Lastly, Glenwood at Valley. Very eerily similar, Richard, to the game you called last year. They were down 20-0. You know what they were down last year? 20-0. They ended up losing this one, though, 20-14. They did score a touchdown late in the game with 8 seconds left to make it a 6-point game. But offensively, with the quarterback position trying to get shirred up, they made some turnovers and mistakes. And obviously, you can't get down 20-0 and expect to come back every single year. It's different when you are a senior-led team that has Levi Pender at quarterback. Right. When you got a new face there, going down 20-0 is not ideal, but I fully expect Ryan Nelson's team to regroup and they'll be back. They have a home game against Elba next week.
Can you lead from the front? Because you're right. Coming back, when you're down by that many scores, it takes a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of fight. By the time you want to try and take that next step, you can't keep asking a team to do that over and over again. But I think you're right, is that, Brian Nelson's going to get this team ready to go for the next week, because you're no longer in the situation where we're trying to figure out who we are in the HSAA. You can compete. You made that clear last year. But now you have to do it again. There's a lot of questions when it comes to who's going to be the guy leading the way, who's going to be the guy going to carry us over or lead from the front. Glenwood is a solid program, solid talent, solid future in front of them. But I know, shout out to Valley. Valley's a team that you do not give them an opportunity to get an edge on you, because once they do, they'll take advantage of it. So shout out to the Rams with a great win. Glenwood, can you bounce back? Because again, no one's surprised by you anymore. They have tape on you. They have opportunities to know what you do, what you like to do, what you don't like to do. Can they bounce back next week?
Yeah, and you've got to praise the effort for Glenwood coming back in that game and the job that Coach McConnell and that defense able to shut out Valley in that second half, which allowed Glenwood to come back in the game.
Glenwood do that from the first quarter, though. That's the biggest.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got down big against Valley last season. So can they continue to duplicate that? And there's some things that Glenwood needs to work on, but I think they're going to be fine. Remember, Valley's a 5A school.
Yep.
They're taking on. They were able to surprise them last year. Valley remembers that, and they came out strong out the gate, and Valley pulling off a big win against Glenwood.
Those are the games that we did last night. You can rewatch all of them on the Facebook page and, of course, the YouTube channel. We wanted to say thank you to the team that allowed us to be there to do that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, though, we'll wrap it up. College football is back.
Let's go.
Let's do some quick hitters, because next week we'll have an ultimate preview with gaslighting, and Rex is going to finally say who the national champion is going to be. Arch Manning is the greatest quarterback in the history of college
football.
Thrift is
going to throw me into an early grave, everybody.
We'll be right back after this.
Real recognized real. Real tasty. Unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment. Crisp lemon lime. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Imagine making your dreams a reality, achieving your goals and aspirations, and having a financial partner that understands your dreams never sleep. At Kinetic Credit Union, we're more than just a bank. We're 40,000 members strong, with local service, personal connections, and a nationwide network. Leading-edge technology to help you make financial decisions easier, smarter, and safer. We are Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Here they come! More big transport trucks full of new GMC trucks and SUVs to Glynn, Smith, and Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $12,750 off. New GMC Terrains with a fresh design, a spacious interior, and safety features, discounted up to $4,000 off MSRP. Plus, enjoy no payments until November at Glynn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile. It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glynn Smith and Opelika. Hit the road in a rugged new full-size Chevy Silverado with discounts up to $12,250 off MSRP. New Chevy Traverse, the spacious and comfortable ride with affordable pricing. Now with discounts up to $4,000 off MSRP. People from all over the USA are coming to Glynn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone. I want a big kahuna burger when we leave here,
Man,
Rex,
doesn't that
because
sound
I am
good?
starving right now. Producer Chrissy loves Pulp Fiction so
Great
much.
movie.
Has a bunch of scenes that he really loves.
Moving on, Chris.
College football's back. The number one team coming in, who has the greatest quarterback in the history of college football, says Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Is the Texas Longhorns.
Ugh.
In all seriousness, though, Rex,
Arch
I
Manning
think-
hasn't played a full season, so calm down, Paul.
I think the SEC this year is up for grabs more than it's ever been. I think there are so many questions. Yes, Texas is the most talented team, but like you said, Arch played 2 games. Georgia at quarterback, do you believe in Gunnar Stockton? Alabama, there's no way in year 2 DeBoer is not getting better. Auburn's finally got to put something together. How about Lenore Sellers and then DJ Lagway from South Carolina and Florida? Both those teams and both those coaches think this is the year they can win 9 or 10 games. A&M's defense is going to be lights out. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, I don't know where to go, man, but I'm just excited because I really think it's a coin flip on how it's going to play out.
Absolutely. And who's going to piss off Diego Pavia enough to get upset by Vanderbilt yet again?
I forgot to bring him
But
up.
at the same time, I think, obviously, being a Texas fan is one of those things. All my eyes are going to be on Texas. What can they do? There are so many storylines when it comes to the Longhorns. Can they finally live up to the hype? You are not back until you raise the national championship like Vince Young. Like I said, win a title, you can be back. But I'm also really interested to see what Lenore Sellers and DJ Lagway, as Thrift brought up.
Right.
There's so much talent we saw. There were moments of greatness we saw from DJ Lagway. And Billy Napier to survive the season that he had last season and not get fired, absolutely incredible job by him. With South Carolina, they have been knocking on the door for so long. They have a quarterback like Sellers who got hurt, and at the same time, can this be the team that they finally like raise up above everybody else? Because they've always felt like the redheaded stepchild of the SEC, in my opinion. Because with Alabama dominant for so long, Georgia dominant for so long,
No doubt.
Florida always on the rise. You know that Lane Kiffin's going to have some kind of crazy quarterback that's going to help him out. But if you watch some of the stuff out there with Diego Pavia, I am so interested to see, because he's back again for his 12th year of college football, but he was tremendous for Vanderbilt. What a story for Vandy, upsetting Bama in Nashville. They probably still have every right to celebrate that win. But I'm really interested to see how Vandy, can they take that next step? And look, I love that Diego Pavia's like my size and taking on SEC teams, and he does not care. He has the cockiness, the arrogance, the
You
belief.
love that, though.
I love
That's
it.
a young Rex.
I love that. It's absolutely. It's like,
Rex,
we're going to be a national champion.
You see Diego Pavia, when you look at him, you're like,
that's my guy.
Rex.
That's my guy. But are you winning a national championship there? Slow down. But do you have the guts to call out all the SEC teams in front of you and at least fight? Absolutely. I love it.
Rich?
I actually think that the SEC will have more teams in the college football playoff this year than they did last
Greg
year.
Sankey loves that.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're his best
100%
friend.
sure that there's a clear-cut favorite in the SEC that can win a national championship. You look at the defending champions with Ohio State. They got a new quarterback in Julian Sayin. They got the best defensive player in Caleb Downs. They got the best offensive player in Jeremiah Smith. Drew Aller comes back as the quarterback for Penn State. We know that Clemson is actually overvalued, I think. I think Cade Klubnik, they got them at number 5. He doesn't even use the transfer portal.
Yeah, but how about this? Going into this year, Texas comes in as number 1, but a lot of people's favorite, Julian Sayin and Ohio State trying to repeat.
Right.
Clemson, finally Dabo Swinney, guys, them back on the mountaintop. I think that, again, there's so many question marks, and that just not include the SEC, really across the country.
That's the thing. It's across the country, coast to coast.
And main thing is, it's the quarterback position. Yep. There's not a ton of starters returning for the high echelon teams. Yeah, I know Lagway and Lenore Sellers come back, but do we really believe Florida and South Carolina has a roster to win a national title with their schedule this year?
Right.
But like Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia, these are all teams that got rosters surrounding the quarterback position that can win championships, but the QB is still a question mark, which is why I'm so excited about this year, gentlemen. It's going to be a fun time. Let's talk right now. I haven't even looked at the score. Farmageddon. Go with you first. Kansas State, Iowa State. I've always loved Kansas State going back to the Bill Snyder days, man.
Nice.
They've been one of my favorite teams. Colin Klein back in 2012. Thought they may have a chance to win a national title. I do like the coach who came from North Dakota State that I cannot think of his name right now. Who is the head coach there? I'm going to look that up here in just a second.
Yeah,
but
so
who do you got?
Well,
I like Iowa State, too.
These are 2 dark horses in the Big 12 that I think that either one of these teams can win the Big 12. Remember, they don't get a bye this year. So you're not going to see Arizona State try to.
That's another story in college football. We'll get to that
that's
later.
another story for another time. But this is just a great way to kick off college football. It's playing as we speak. But I do like Iowa State. I've always been a fan of, obviously, I'm a big Brock Purdy fan because I'm a 49ers fan. He came out of nowhere. But Iowa State has been a sneaky good team. They have been, when Oklahoma was in the Big 12, they found a way to upset them. But Kansas State as well. These are 2 teams that nobody really talks about, but they have snuck up on people in the Big 12.
I'm so sick of your 49ers
Oh,
reference,
here we go.
and I hope they lose every game this year. I'm tired of the 49ers,
And
Rich.
here comes
But can I tell you
Still
something?
salty from the days playing the Falcons in the NFC West?
Here we
Can I
go.
tell you something, though? Since 2000, how many more San Francisco 49ers Super Bowls are there than the Falcons?
0.
0. We both have the same. So, as great as 49ers have been over the last couple of years, can't ever get over the hump. And maybe this year, Raheem Morris and the Falcons can do that.
I do want to say I love that Netflix documentary on the Dallas Cowboys, though.
I do, too.
It was absolutely fantastic.
But I read the book.
I know.
That was put out by Jeff Pearlman. They basically was talking about that. But let's wrap it up with this, guys, because we'll have plenty of time next week to kind of go into record predictions and all in college football. Heisman Trophy favorites. I want to save that for next week.
We'll
Guys
save it.
sliding coming up, and you'll hear it next Saturday morning with me and Rex. I know he's fired up for it. Falcons. I want to end it with this one. Yes. Because apparently Raheem Morris believes that not starting your quarterback who's played all of 3 games in his career during the preseason because he didn't want him to get injured was a smart idea. And maybe it is. And if that's the case, I feel like this is something that most teams are going to do, which if that's going to be the case, get rid of preseason in general. Let's just throw it away because you're not even
right into the regular season.
Yeah, come on. Let's just start playing more games. With that said, if the Falcons don't win 10 or 11 games this year, Rex, my fandom is going to be put on hold, and I'm not going to make a conscious effort to watch them anymore until Arthur Blank sells the team. And I listen, I know it's bad, but you teased us with the Mike Smith and then the early on of the Snyder, I mean, not Snyder, who was his name? Dan Quinn era.
Dan Quinn.
And from 08 to 2016, my prime years of high school into college, I'm watching a team consistently make the playoff, make it to a Super Bowl.
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice is a guy that's going to be a Hall of Fame.
Rodney,
Julio. I love every second
Burner
of it.
Turner.
And since that moment,
that DVD backfield,
we have become the doormat of the worst division in football. When you're one of the worst teams in one of the worst divisions in football, I don't know what to tell you. Baker Mayfield has made you look like his you-know-what, and I cannot handle it anymore. I need it. I'm craving it. Falcons, give me some playoffs, please. I need it.
This guy needs some help. I think this is also the rant that every Falcons fan has going into this season.
Well, this is me and Jack literally 2 nights ago talking
well, like
about
this is the pain that you go through, and then your $180 million backup quarterback in Kirk Cousins. There's a lot that needs to be fixed here. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. I think Michael Penix is a guy who has the talent. I don't understand not playing him during the preseason.
Yep.
You need to have game speed because quite literally everyone at practice is paid to not hit Michael Penix Jr. But it's one of these games and these situations like, look, we're all here now. We have everyone we hear, and you got some great talent offensively. It looks phenomenal on paper. And even when Raheem Morris came to Atlanta, it's like, why did you like coming to Atlanta? That's simple. Bijan Robinson and Drake London. Now use them, please.
Right.
And I agree that Atlanta has all the makings of it. And the NFC South is a little bit down right now, so why not take advantage?
Please.
Right now, get that first round bye, get home field advantage. But if you can't just get to the finish line without tripping over yourself, because I still don't understand what you're doing with Kirk Cousins.
I got an
don't
option
understand
for that.
that.
I got an option for that right now, Rice. And I want your Commissioner Goodell, you got to approve this, okay, Rich? Not Rex, but you got to approve it. I need to see right now. I will trade you Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
A first-round pick. No. Make that a fourth-round pick. Kirk Cousins, a fourth-round pick.
Got it.
And Raheem Morris for D'Amico Ryans. Can
For
I get
D'Amico?
Can I get
Absolutely not. I'm knocking on your door and saying absolutely not.
No, you know he's not
You're
going.
Houston, Texas. You're getting Kirk Cousins, which you could turn.
So I'm giving up a fourth-round pick while I have C.J. Stroud here, and I'm paying all that money. If you pay me all that money, maybe, but absolutely not. D'Amico's staying in Houston.
I need D'Amico.
Go away.
I was trying I'm trying to get D'Amico.
Don't leave.
Oh, you're proving that, Rich?
I'm not
But seriously, though,
approving that
about
at
the Falcons, what do you think should happen then?
Well, first of all, Caleb McGarry might be out for the season. I mean, that's
terrible.
That's
That's
Michael
huge.
Penix Jr.'s blind side.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awful.
That's
Good
about
point,
as
Rich.
valuable as a left tackle. You got rid of your best defensive player. Grady Jarrett's now on the Bears. I felt like he was the anchor on that defense. He was the run stopper. I do like the picks, Jalen Walker and James Pierce, but I think it's too little too late. Your prime players.
You're poo-pooing on my
Jesse
parade,
Bates.
Rich.
Look, you got
take your front office
Drake
for that.
London in his prime, Bijan Robinson in his prime,
Kyle Pitts.
You have Tyler Algier. The window, it could close when they get up into their 30s, and then you got to start paying them.
It feels like it's this season.
It has to be this season that they got to not only make the playoffs,
Make
but
some noise.
win a playoff game and possibly get to the NFC Championship. Look, I still think it's
49ers.
Look,
Please.
Look, I still
If I got
think.
to sit there and cheer against Richard,
Oh boy.
you know how brutal that would be?
Look,
Halloween Cafe, me and him yelling
I
at
think
each
you
other.
might
We've already witnessed a 49ers Falcons NFC Championship. It did not go the
No,
way
we didn't because we got cheated out of that. And thank you
Yeah.
for bringing it up.
Yeah.
Navarro Bowman.
Navarro
Pass
Bowman, I
interference.
know.
That needed to be called every day of the week.
Lord.
Oh, but Harry Douglas did not catch that ball anyway. But that's neither
And
here
I
nor
agree
there.
with you on that.
But the NFC, obviously, I'm not a big buyer in the Eagles. I think that Nick
Rich.
Don't do that.
Sirianni.
Don't
Look,
do that. Don't do that.
he lost Kellen Moore as an offensive coordinator. He's now with the Saints. I just
Which
think
have fun with that, by the way.
the Eagles now have like a first-place schedule. Nick Sirianni's not an elite coach. They still have a pretty good team because you have Saquon Barkley. He was the ultimate eraser last year.
So who's your favorite NFC if you're not?
I think the Rams. The Rams are going to be
the Rams too.
With Matt Stafford and a 60% back.
And he's got Devontae Adams.
He does have
he does have Puka Nacua, and Jared Verse is going to be that defensive end that, like, I know Aaron Donald's retired, but look out for that. That's a young defense. And Sean McVay, if he's got Matthew Stafford and he's got that.
I like the pick.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Or Stetson Bennett the fourth.
He's going to definitely be the backup.
Stetson Bennett could win now. We're just really.
He'll win you some games for the Rams if Matthew Stafford gets injured.
I have to disagree because the Eagles are still at that point where, like,
really?
They added. Oh yeah, the Eagles still have all their weapons. Like, pretty elite team with Saquon Barkley. It's Saquon out there, AJ, and you saw Devontae Smith, and then also they added, I think, an underrated pick, but John Mechie. John Mechie's now heading.
I do like that pick, but
Texans traded him, and we got Bryant back as a tight end. But John Mechie now, he was supposed to be like our number 2 option over there with Nico Brown and all that. But a lot of health stuff. He overcame leukemia. Shout out to John Mechie, and we saw how good he was with Bama. Let's put all the SEC back in Philadelphia at this point. But I think John Mechie's a unique X factor for that. And look, their wide receivers are there. The play calling is going to be interesting. I don't agree that Jalen Hurts is just a game manager, but he has tremendous weapons in there. And the tush push is still allowed in the NFL.
Yeah, and they got Jahad Campbell, the rookie from Alabama. It's pretty much a Georgia and Alabama team in the NFL.
It's the SEC in Philadelphia.
And that's why there's no way I'm betting against a team that dominated the Chiefs in the Super Bowl when they get
y'all.
worse. Now,
I
will say, it's a good point, Rich, that last time he lost his coordinators, remember when he made the Super Bowl back in 2022, they struggled the next year.
They did. 10-1, and then they just fell flat on their face.
Will that happen this year? We're going to find out. But this is kind of what you're going to get for gaslighting. Richard will be a part of some of the segments too when we talk NFL as well.
Every now and then.
But thanks to Rex, thanks to Colin, thanks to Richard. We appreciate everyone being a part of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show, Glenn Smith edition. They get a Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. They have so much inventory on the lot right now. They're going to take care of you. Go to glennsmith.com right now to check out on their website. From Thrift Barringer, have a good day, everyone. We'll see you next time.
More big transport trucks full of new GMC trucks and SUVs to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $12,750 off. New GMC Terrains with a fresh design, a spacious interior, and safety features, discounted up to $4,000 off MSRP. Plus, enjoy no payments until November at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika.